Hello yogis, welcome to today's practice. My name is Tony Fudge and I'm coming to you from the Bahamas. We're gonna get started on our back. So when you're ready, meet me on your back. Okay, let's get started with our knees apart, feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. Hands can come to your belly, maybe one at your heart center, and we're just going to center into our practice here. Start to take some breaths. Take an inhale through your nose. Then exhale, side out, let it go. Take a big inhale through your nose. And a big exhale, side out, let it go. And take a big inhale. Starting to fill up the lungs, up into the chest. Hold here at the top. And then as you exhale, side out, let it go. Couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, take the biggest inhale of your day. Start to send it to the belly, up into the rib cage, all the way up into the heart space. Really fill up the lungs here. Hold here at the top. Sip in a little more. And then exhale, side out, let it go. Beautiful. Start to find your Ujjayi breath. So inhales and exhales through your nose with a slight restriction of the back of the throat. Find an audible inhale sound and an audible exhale sound. An oceanic sound in the breath sounds like this. Good. That keeps you present in your practice, in your mind, connected to your breath throughout the entirety of the practice. So try to find that. If you need to exhale through the mouth at any point, you can. But come back to it. Come back to that breath to help center you and keep you in the present moment with your body and connected to your mind, body, and breath all together here in your practice. Yoga is union between the mind, body, breath, mind, body, and soul. And then when you're ready, start to blink open your eyes. Bring your hands to the outer part of the thighs and draw your knees together at center. You can draw the knees right in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze here, maybe even a little rock from side to side. Beautiful. Maybe even draw your forehead towards your knees and give yourself a big hug of gratitude and appreciation for yourself for showing up on your mat today. And doing things that are challenging when maybe we don't want to. Maybe when we feel a little nervous too. And slowly start to let the head fall towards the mat. Draw the knees towards your shoulders. And maybe even open up and find your first happy baby of practice. You draw your sacrum down towards the earth, the low back. You draw your shoulders down, you tuck your chin slightly towards your chest. You press your hands into your feet and your feet back into your hands. And you really start to open up through the inner thighs, in the groin. Open up and into our hips. You should be able to feel that. Maybe you can find a little rock from side to side. And if you want to get a little deeper into the back line of the body and the back line of the legs, you start to bend through one knee and straighten through the other and just feel the opening in the legs. And then you can switch sides there, bending through one knee and straightening through the other. And just notice if your body feels tight today. Maybe even try to straighten through both legs. And if it does, that's okay. Meeting our body where it is at every single day we come to our mats. When you're ready, finding your child's pose again. And then hold here for a few breaths. Just starting to really center in with our practice and our breath. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, let's draw the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself another little squeeze. We're going to set ourselves up with a bit of core to start our practice. To strengthen through our core helps to strengthen to our entire body throughout our practice. If we have a strong core, we have a strong practice. So when you're ready, Reach the legs up towards the sky. You can point through your toes here. Reach the arms up, interlace the hands, point your fingers, point up towards the sky. Take an inhale, lift your chest. Send your fingers towards the right side of the top of the mat. Good. You're going to point the fingers towards the right. Good. From here, you're going to drop that left leg down to hover, and then you're going to start to pulse the chest, the shoulders up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to take that right leg and meet it to the left and lift it back up on the exhale. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, down. And exhale up. Keeping the shoulders off of the mat. Breathe here. Good. You should feel that in the core. Make sure the low back is not hovering off the mat. It's pressing down. If you need to drop the left leg, you can. Last two. Last one, lift the right leg up, lift the left leg up. Hands come back to the sky and then back towards the opposite side, so towards the left side. So fingers are pointing towards the left. So I'm going to drop the right leg down and start to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. And then take the left leg down to meet the right and then lift it up. Try to lift your shoulders up off the mat a little bit more. Good. Try to keep that right leg hovering. Good. Breathing here. Exhale up. Inhale down. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. Come up towards the sky. Both legs up. Hands come up. Hold the hands up. Lift the shoulders off the mat. Engage through your core. Squeeze your belly button towards your spine. Straighten through your legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little rock. Beautiful. Do a little bit more core before we find our first down dog. So when you're ready, we're going to extend the legs long. Hands are going to come behind the head, elbows wide. Good. So you can stay here, or if it's too much to extend the legs long, you can bring your knees just above your hips, finding that tabletop on our back. So we find tabletop here. But we're going to try to straighten our legs. So you take the right elbow, so the left elbow towards the right knee, squeeze, extend long, and then switch. So really slow bicycle crunches here, with the legs coming straight every time. Good. You're going to go for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1. Back to center and rest the head. Draw the knees in towards your chest. That one really is a burner in the core. We're going to just do that one more time here. Take a big inhale and a big exhale. So set yourself up. If you need to find your supported tabletop, you can, with the knees stacked over the hips, or maybe you straighten the legs long and you find your hands behind your head and then start to twist and then center. Twist, extend, twist, center, twist, extend. Good. Breathing. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through center, release. You should feel your core burning at this point in practice. That's exactly where we want it to be. Take an inhale here and take an exhale. Hands come underneath the hamstrings and you're going to start to rock and roll. Slow, slow, slow. And find your boat pose when you're ready. Shoulders come onto the back. You can squeeze the legs together. Toes can be on the mat if you'd like. Hands can be on hamstrings, or maybe you hover your feet. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe you reach the arms beside your legs, and you maybe even straighten your legs here and really find that puff through the chest. Straight back, hold, hold, hold. Beautiful. Breathe. for 3, 2, 1. Cross the ankles. Good job. And then plant the hands. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Press the hips up and back. Find your first downward facing dog of practice. Pedal out through the legs. Bending through one leg, straightening through the other. Move slow here. Just start to open up the back line of the body. Take whatever little movements you like. Whatever feels good here. We've got a few breaths just to find our down dog and really start to sit into it. Good. And then from here, we're going to drop our elbows down at the same time if you can. If not, you do one at a time. And you come into your dolphin pose. We'll start to strengthen into our shoulders a little bit. Hold here. Press the elbows, the forearms, the hands into the earth. Gaze can be back at your big toes. Maybe even walk your feet in a little bit. Hold here. Maybe you bend through your knees. Maybe you straighten them. Doesn't matter. We're just strengthening through our shoulders, our deltoids. And maybe you drop your head down towards the earth and then press up. Down and up. Down and up. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Press into the hands, lift back up, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Good. Finding our first high plank on your inhale, start to roll yourself forward, high plank. Good. As you exhale, bend your knees and send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. When you're ready, roll forward, high plank. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 2 more, inhale, and exhale. 1 more here. Inhale, roll forward. And exhale. Beautiful. This time we're going to go into our chaturanga on our inhale, reach forward, high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows. Lift up, inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Pedal it out. Beautiful. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. Find a forward fold back of your mat. Feet are about hip distance apart. You can grab for opposite elbows here if that feels good. And just walk a little rock from side to side, opening the back line of the body up. It's good to have really open hamstrings. Can you think about sending the sit bones, that little bone, lift it up. Good. Draw your shoulders down your back, so it's kind of like up towards the sky. Allow your head to feel heavy. Maybe a little rock the head from side to side, maybe forward and back. Maybe you can rock the weight from one foot to the other foot and forward and back. And you start to try to challenge your balance and trust yourself that you're not going to fall over because you've got you. You're in control. Learning to trust ourselves in our practice helps us trust ourselves more in our lives. Good. Dropping the hands down towards the earth. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades, engage your core. And exhale, you fold. Inhale, start to reach all the way up. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And then walk your hands forward. Cycle through chaturanga. Inhale up, facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Good. Walk your hands back towards the back of the mat again. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So from here, we're going to heel to our feet nice and wide. Sit the hips nice and deep. Find your yogi squat malasana. Hands come to heart center. Allow yourself to sit here for a few breaths. Pressing the elbows into the knees and the knees back into the elbows. Soften your shoulders. Breathe. Close your eyes and just maybe set an intention for yourself today. Maybe something around challenging yourself or around trust. I trust myself. I am capable of doing hard things. And I trust that I have my back. Trust the universe that has my back. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. So we're going to get ourselves all the way up towards the top of the mat by doing little hops. So you plant your hands onto the mat, you lift your hips a little bit higher, you press into the hands, and you're just going to little hop. It can be the littlest, tiniest hop here. You're going to lift your hips up and just hop. Good. Lift the hips up. And maybe you get a little bit more air. And then a little bit more all the way to the top of the mat. Beautiful. Hands come back to heart center. Can find your downward facing dog. Maybe you cycle through a chaturanga. Maybe you can go into crow pose. Get yourself on your hands. Take a little bit of flight. And then send it back. Find your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And then down dog. Pedal it out. Whatever that looked like for you, let it be what it is. Everyone's practice is so different. Everyone's bodies, everyone's journeys. So allow yourself to just be as you are. Good. Walking your hands back. We're going to do that one more time. Those little hops. Heel toe the feet wide. Find your malasana. Hands come to heart center. Maybe, just maybe, you would just visualize yourself taking those hops. You visualize yourself taking more flight. And at the end of it, maybe you envision yourself in crow pose, shooting back into your chaturanga. And you just see it in your mind before it happens. So your mind is so powerful, and we can do things that maybe we don't believe is true. But when we start to see it in our mind, it starts to become a reality. So picture that now. And then when you're ready, plant your hands. Lift the hips, take a little bit of flight. Just like a little hop off the feet. Bring your hands forward, a little flight. Good. And you should feel, as you get a little bit more trust in yourself, you can lift the hips a little higher. Beautiful. Maybe you find your down dog. Maybe this time you find your crow pose, stacking the knees on top of the triceps, lifting the feet gaze forward. And then you send it back. Finding your up dog, finding your down dog. Pedal it out. And whatever that looked like for you, let it be. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel your heartbeat. Feel that feeling of overcoming maybe something that you're scared to do, like overcoming fear, discomfort, and the unknown. Beautiful. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. Inhale, right leg reaches high. You start to bend the knee and you open the hip. Draw the right knee towards right tricep squeeze. Inhale up and back. Right knee to nose squeeze. Inhale up and back. Right knee, left tricep squeeze. Inhale up and back. Right knee to nose. And this time step it forward. Good. I'm going to find a little balance here. We're going to come straight up into warrior 3 by kicking the left leg high. Maybe your hands underneath your shoulders, or maybe they come towards heart center. You drop that left hip down, flex through the left toes. Good. Start to straighten that right knee if you haven't already. Good. Open up through the chest like you are an up dog. One more inhale. As you exhale, maybe you plant your hands. You can step back, or maybe you find a little float up. And you really kick up, and you bend that right knee, and you find a little hang time, then send it back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, down dog. Good. When you're ready, inhale left leg high, bend the knee and open the hip. Left knee, left tricep squeeze. Inhale up and back. Left knee to nose, squeeze. Inhale up and back. Left knee, right tricep squeeze. Inhale up and back. Left knee in, step forward. Finding that little balance here. Take your time, send the right leg high. Hands can come underneath your shoulders. Flex through the right foot. Maybe you start to hover the hands towards heart center. Good. Straighten the left leg. Engage your core. Drop the right hip down slightly. Little up dog in the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades. Find that steady gaze. Beautiful. One more inhale. As you exhale, hands plant. Maybe you find a little hop and a little air time. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Good. Maybe one more time. And then you step back, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Pedal it out. And just take a big inhale here. And a big exhale. And we'll just find our hands and feet at the top of our mats. Good. I'm going to find a forward fold here. Maybe grab for opposite elbows again. We're going to start going into our handstand now. So if handstand is new to you and you're a little bit nervous, you can totally take this against a wall, and a wall will be super helpful. Or if you feel a little bit nervous going into handstand, maybe you just start practicing pressing your hands into the earth, and you just start to kick one leg in and you just hold here. There's just options to play with our handstand if you don't want to go fully into it, but give it a try. Definitely bring your mat towards a wall, and that can be super helpful for you. And then we can practice it together. So hands are actually going to just do a little warm up in our wrists. So our wrists have been warmed up a little bit in our practice. We'll just take the hands and we're just going to interlace them together. Maybe find your malasana squat first. And we'll just interlace the hands and take some figure eights with our wrists here a few times, and then the other way. So going into any handstand practice, it can be a lot on our wrists. So just make sure that you're warming up your wrists a little bit before our practice, before we get into handstand. And then also reach the hands forward here and then close and open the palms. So you're gonna go like, squeeze the hands together and open really wide. Good. Try to keep the arms straight. We're just go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That also just strengthens our forearm muscles, which are super important when it comes to our handstand. And then place the hands underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread super, super wide. You're gonna press all 10 fingertips into the mat, that your like middle knuckle starts to bend up. It's like your toes. So then you can kind of balance between your fingers and your palm of your hand when you're up there. Okay, straighten through your arms, biceps forward, triceps back. Good. You start to walk your feet underneath your hips. I come high onto my tiptoes. And then I press my hands into the mat so my shoulders start to feel super, super tight and strong. And then start to shift your weight forward between the fingertips and the wrists. Just try that and feel how that feels. Beautiful. Good. You can just stay here doing this the whole time. Or if you want to try doing handstand with me, you start to kick the right heel towards the glute. You're going to get nice and light on that left toe, and you can kind of like balance and bump kind of up and down here and just see how that feels. And then when you're ready, keep your gaze right between the thumbs to be a really good spot. And then quiet your mind. I always say, don't think, just do when I do my handstand practices, because the more that we think in our handstand practice, the more that we fall out. I like to have my right leg straight so that when it goes up, I draw the left knee right into my chest. So when you're ready, big inhale, and then come all the way up. And sometimes it can take a few minutes to actually get to where you want to be. A few tries. But this is what handstand practice is all about. Trying. And then when you fall out, I just do a little cartwheel out. I can come back to my mat and then do it again. And then you go again. So I like to kind of bounce that right heel up, bend the left knee, and then kick up. Trying to stack our shoulders over our wrists. And trying to stack our hips over our shoulders. And when you need to take a minute, take a break, maybe even roll out your wrists again. It can be a lot on our wrists. Good. And then you can practice your handstand practice for as long as you want until your wrist gets sore or until you feel tired. You can find your child's pose at any point when you're ready. And then find your child's pose. Whenever you're ready, take a break. Close your eyes and start to just breathe. Learning how to trust yourself when you're upside down, when you're learning something new, can take a minute. It can take time to slowly adjust into something new, something unknown, especially when it's something hard and challenging. And just be proud of yourself. Proud of yourself for trying it. No matter what it looked like today, every day is different. Sometimes you can come to your mat and you can hold it and you can feel good in it, but other times it's more of a struggle. And every day we go through different phases. Our muscles can be strong or tired. Maybe our mind is a little bit uncentered. Things are a little bit more difficult because our mind is thinking about other things or something happened in our day-to-day life that is just on our mind during our practice and can be hard to find balance. So don't give up because one day might be more challenging. Keep going, and it's all about the journey. It's all about showing up even when it's difficult, even when you feel like you've done it over and over and over and you feel like maybe you haven't gotten the progress that you want. But it's about not giving up. It's about trying and doing until you get the goal, until you do it. And you keep going, you keep growing. I'm going to leave you here in your child's pose today. If you want to go on to your Shavasana and maybe you roll onto the back, you can roll onto the back and find your Shavasana. And just take time to settle in and just send yourself some gratitude, some love and appreciation for yourself. Maybe even finding 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for into this moment. This moment, this day, your body, your mind, your soul. Finding those things, connecting with them for the last few minutes of your practice here. Just know that I'm proud of you for showing up today and moving your body and doing things that might feel a little bit uncomfortable for you to do. Keep going, keep showing up. From my heart to yours, namaste.